Pep, good afternoon. Good to see you.
Good afternoon.
Can I first of all just check with you about Jack? He didn't play at the weekend, and there were reports of a shin problem, which I know was a big issue for him last year. How is he, and how likely is he to feature this week?
It's better, but for tomorrow is not available alongside Cole Palmer and Gabriel.
This is now a big competition, getting very serious, the knockout stages. How deep is the desire and the determination now amongst the players to go on better than what happened last year and actually win this competition?
Well, to do better than the last season is not easy. We are excited and happy to win this competition, this stage. And seriously, like every game we played as a people who is involved in this club. So I know how important the Champions League, we cannot deny it, but we take seriously every Premier League game. And when we saw how we behave against Norwich, is the best proof that we want to do it every single game, not just in Champions League.
With the start that you've had in the Premier League, what has that done for confidence levels amongst the players?
Confidence always was high. So not just now, since all the season, the previous season. So we are behaving for a long time in the highest standards.
Ian Abrams at Top Sport.
Hi Pep, how are you?
Hi.
Every year about this stage, we always ask you about how really you want to win this to get it off your back and have won it at Man City. Does that become annoying, the fact that every year we say, right, you've won the league, or you look good in the league, you're going to do well in the FA Cup? Is the Champions League the competition you really want to win?
Ian, you can ask whatever you want. So as many times you want. So no problem.
So does it?
It's the bottom, the bottom of it. That means we are here. So we are in the Champions League. So it's an honor, a pleasure to travel to Portugal to try to compete well and try to win the game, and waiting when they are coming here. So, and after, on the pitch, on the grass will dictate our chances. The rest, just speculations like for open, for read, for right, for, to waste our time is okay. But as much we want, as much we don't want, at the end is the players on the pitch. The rest, okay, we can talk whatever you want.
Well, domestically, you look unbeatable right now. I mean, you haven't been beaten since October. So is this the best chance you've had in the last few years in terms of the way your team are placed?
Saying domestically, we've not lost until October in England. So is it the best?
Yeah, we lost in Leipzig. So yeah, we have an incredible run, but especially behaving well. I would say in Leipzig we were not prepared mentally, already qualified for that game. We were not ready, but the rest always we were there all the time, and this is what I want. I said last day, we perform for ourselves. We compete with ourselves. What we are looking for is behave every game like what we have to do every 3 days, no important the competition. And we have done it in the last years. I think will not be an exception tomorrow.
We'll go to Jack Dawn. I don't have any other English questions at the moment, guys, so if you need to raise your hand, otherwise we'll move on to Portuguese, but we'll go to Jack now.
Hey, Pep, you mentioned on Friday about if people believe it's a failure that you don't win the Champions League, then you have to accept it. You mentioned that without anyone asking about it. I just wondered whether you cared what people thought. If people think it's a failure, do you care that they think that?
Jack, being in that business as a manager, not me, all the managers who are exposed to get punished in the way for the criticism when you don't get results. So not me, all the managers. So otherwise you have to decide to do another job, it's not absolutely a problem. So I know our standards. I know personally which one are, and I accept absolutely everything. But my feeling is having incredible harmony in the team. This is the main target for me. It's for the day one, have an harmony and fight every day for that. With some details in the harmony, we cannot keep it as high as possible. The rest, the quality of the players, will do the rest.
Have you noticed any difference in the harmony this season to any of the previous seasons?
The harmony in this team right now in this season is exceptional. Exceptional. Thanks for the captains and thank you for many reasons. It's exceptional. Yeah.
Is that higher than previous seasons, you think?
Yeah.
What do you think the reasons are for that?
We know each other well. We accept many things for all of us. Even my army respect to them is much better. So 6 seasons. So we know each other perfectly. And we accept the good things, the bad things, like a normality, and everyone desire to play and fight and be part of that.
Simon Damien, please.
It's 2 years exactly since UEFA announced that City would be banned from the Champions League. Do you ever think about how things might have been different?
Well, at the end, Manchester City proved that we are not banned.
Has it made what you've done in the last 2 years kind of even more satisfying? You know, you've reached your first final and you're going again in the knockouts.
No, what we like is that Manchester City proved that always we have done, we've done correctly and properly, following the rules. And when we win or lose, it's on the pitch. That's all.
Allhurst, please.
Hiya, Pep. When you were speaking about the harmony earlier, you mentioned the captains being a factor in that. What kind of influence have they had to make sure that the group is more harmonious than it has been before?
No, always have been a good harmony in the team. Always. Otherwise, we cannot win where we win. But always when arrive new players and even new manager like me and everything, always there is time to settle. So never had the problems being with the team. Never, ever. What I think right now in the season is everyone, they have between them that at the end is the most important thing. Is what I'm fighting for every single minute is have a good relation, respect each other and fight for the position. In football, the most difficult thing is that every day they are enemies because they have to fight for one position in the team. They are enemies in a nice sense. And after they have to be brothers in the weekend, you know, in the game. And that mix is not easy to handle it, you know. And that's why I have been problems because everyone wants to play and have, you know, the respect for each other and the decisions must be made for staff, for backroom staff, and especially for them. If they have, you know, the respect that they have each other, the rest is easy.
And do you think there's more respect between the players here than you've ever seen in any of your other clubs before? No. Barcelona was fantastic and Bayern Munich as well. So always we had a good, maybe because I'm a so easygoing man. So it's so easy to work with me. That's why they create a good environment.
Thank you. Go to Luke Edwards, please.
Hi, Pep. You're hearing you talk about harmony there and seeing how happy you seem at the moment with everything at Manchester City. Could you see yourself staying as manager for a decade or 15 years or doing that sort of stint at one club?
I'm not going to beat Sir Alex Ferguson. Don't worry, look.
You could do.
1 year and a half is a long time in football. So I would say this harmony helps because in the last 20 games, we won 18, we draw 1, then we lost 1 in Leipzig. 1 didn't play for anything. So these kind of things help a lot to have it. But I know all of them. All the guys, I know them, and being you know, sometimes disappointed because they don't play because this harmony always comes from don't play minutes. The rest it's impossible. We complain because this club, the players care department, the physios, the sport science, that everyone just are there to help them, so they cannot complain. And when that's happened. And that was in that moment it happened. So at the end is the most important thing. So at the end, win or lose is random. So you will never know what's going to happen in the future. But the period where we are together and try to beat our opponents, and with the biggest smiles, with the good moods, because it's the only way to improve is a good mood. When you have a bad face, it's impossible to improve. Okay, your mind is another place. When that's happened, the rest is not important. We cannot control the results. So we're training to predict what is going to happen, but nobody knows what is going to happen. Not even myself, the manager, not even the players. We practice to try to do our best. But if we know that we practice it is going to happen, I will train 7 hours a day and always we will win the games. But this is not the reality. You can train defensive corners 1 hour and you can see the corner that you know exactly what is going to happen for our opponent. So that's why it's not important. Important is when we are here, try to do our best. And so far we don't have regrets. Apart of the results, I'm not talking about the results. We don't have regrets because we behave as a team. And this is the most important thing.
Finish with a couple of questions in Portuguese, guys. We'll go to Hugo Martins, please.
Hi, Pep. I want to ask you about a sporting player that belongs to Manchester City, Pedro Porro. A few months ago, he said that he never talked to you and that you probably don't even know that he belongs to Manchester City. I want to ask you if you know him and what do you think about him? Thank you.
I know him perfectly, but we have maybe 250 loan players. I cannot speak with 250 loan players. So I don't have time. So I'm happy he's going well. And of course I know him, especially now that I saw many games where sometimes play, sometimes don't play.
Francisco Martins, please.
Hello, Pep. What do you think that are the main tactical aspects to have in consideration in Sporting, and how big do you consider that is the gap, the competitive gap between Manchester City and Sporting?
Portugal always had an incredible competitive league. We fought against Oporto last season, and we realized how strong they are, not just Oporto, they are the team. So they have an incredible recruitment players, being a Portuguese or a Brazilian or in other countries. They are so competitive, and that's why after a while, most of them, the biggest talents, always they fly to another leagues like Spain, England, or Germany or France, or whatever. So what I saw from Sporting Lisboa is I think that his togetherness, I think the relation between the manager and the team is there. The players, the manager has been for these players. This is the most important thing. And the physical team, they have a good build-up and they have incredible runners and attack quick in behind. And if they were champion last season from many years, it didn't happen. Beating Oporto and Benfica is because, my friends, it's a really good team. And of course, they won the group stage against Ajax and especially Borussia Dortmund. Like Borussia Dortmund is a typical club in the Champions League, arriving in last 16 quarterfinals, sometimes semifinals, once in the final. So that's why they were able to beat them, is because they are good. And then knowing and watching few games lately and the group stage, I was really impressed how good they are.
Finish with Arthur Quezada, please.
Hi, Pep. You were 37 years old for your first time in the round of 16 of Champions League back in 2008. The same age as the Sporting coach Rubén Amorim is now. I was just wondering if you remember the feeling of being for the first time as a coach in this stage of the competition, and if after 14 years, would you have any advice for that young Guardiola back then in 2008?
Well, maybe I should get the advice for him. I'm not the one who give advices, honestly. Admire his young career, and he's going well. The personality to playing Oporto last game with a huge personality, the way they playing against Benfica, the Super Cup, that for the minute one, try to win the game. And I'm pretty sure he's excited like I was, and hopefully he can be excited after 14 years like I am right now to again travel to the last 16 to Portugal and Europe and show our football. This is the target. So to show who we are as a team in Portugal, and the people who watch the game say, okay, this team play good. And after the result, I don't know what's going to happen. We have the same opportunities and possibilities because it's just 2 games. It's not a 11-month competition like you play everywhere. And we accept the challenge to face them and try to do a good 2 games.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you, guys.